All right, look, what if I told you that basically everything you've been taught about money is backward? Like, completely upside down. You hear people say, money doesn't matter, right? It's a nice sentiment. It sounds noble, but have you ever noticed that the people saying that usually have a ton of money? Or worse, they're the ones whose lives are completely wrecked because they don't have it. While you're scrolling through social media, seeing some guy post about his minimalist lifestyle and how he found inner peace living in a van, realize he's probably posting that from a MacBook Pro his parents bought him. It's easy to be a monk when you have a trust fund. My name is Nick, and I've spent years looking at the data, not the feelings, the data on how cash actually affects our brains. And if you're tired of being gaslit into thinking that wanting financial security makes you a bad person, stick around. We need to talk. Here's a stat that should honestly scare you. When researchers looked at over 450,000 adults, they found something interesting about happiness. It doesn't just appear because you meditated for 10 minutes, it actually plateaus at a specific income level. Why? Because below that level, you are in survival mode. Right now, as you're listening to this, there is a 72% chance you are stressed about money. That's not me guessing. That's the American Psychological Association. Think about that. 3 out of 4 people you pass on the street are carrying this invisible 50-pound backpack of anxiety. They're worried about rent or that weird noise their car is making, or debt. It's a silent epidemic. And here is what that stress actually does to you. It creates what I call a decision prison. When you're broke, you don't make choices based on what you want. You make choices based on what costs the least. Every decision gets filtered. Can I eat healthy? No, pasta's cheaper. Should I take that job across the country? No, I can't afford the moving truck. You aren't living, you're just managing logistics. You're trapped in a box where the walls are made of price tags. Meanwhile, the people telling you money doesn't buy happiness have never had to do mental math before ordering an appetizer at a restaurant. Let's get personal for a second. Let's talk about love. Or, well, the death of it. Money problems are the #1 predictor of divorce. It's not cheating, it's not growing apart, it's the bank account. Why? Because when couples fight about money, they aren't fighting about math, they're fighting about values. One person sees savings as safety, the other sees spending as living. And when there isn't enough to go around, every single purchase feels like a personal attack. It turns your partner into an opponent. The thing we're supposed to pretend doesn't matter is literally tearing families apart. Here's the secret that wealthy people know, but rarely say out loud. Having money isn't about buying a Lambo. I mean, sure you can, but that's rookie stuff. Real wealth is about buying options. It's the ability to walk into your boss's office, the boss you hate, and quit without having a panic attack about how you'll pay the electric bill. It's about psychological freedom. Rich people often say the ability to buy something feels better than actually buying it. It's knowing you hold the cards. When you have money, you are the protagonist of your life. When you don't, you're an NPC in someone else's game. Let's do a reality check. If you work 40 hours a week, you are trading more than a third of your waking life for little rectangular pieces of paper. And if you don't like your job, that is a tragedy. Quick test. If they stopped paying you tomorrow, would you still show up? If the answer is hell no, then you are essentially renting out your existence. You are selling your time, your only non-renewable resource, just to stay alive. And the worst part? Most people aren't even selling it for a good price. It gets physically worse. Your health. We know now that financial stress produces cortisol. It's a stress hormone. It's like having a car alarm going off in your bloodstream 24/7. People with money worries have worse sleep, worse immune systems, and higher rates of depression. And the irony? The very thing making you sick, The lack of money is the thing preventing you from going to the doctor to fix it. It is a vicious biological cycle. Being poor is literally hazardous to your health. This is what really grinds my gears: the cultural narrative. We have this weird guilt complex where we think wanting money makes us shallow. But usually, the people screaming the loudest about how money is evil fall into two camps. Camp A, trust fund kids who have never had to choose between gas and groceries, or Camp B, people who have given up. They are so beaten down by the system that they've decided to pretend they don't care as a defense mechanism. It's sour grapes on a societal level. You have to understand, the system is designed to keep you on the wheel. It is a feature, not a bug. Your employer wants you dependent. If you had 3 years of expenses saved up, you'd demand better working conditions, wouldn't you? Credit card companies, they profit from your misery. They love it when you're stressed and make impulse buys. The whole economy runs on people buying things they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't like. So let's flip the script. Stop looking at money as a goal. Money is a tool. It's a hammer. You can use a hammer to build a house, or you can use it to smash your thumb. If you want to travel, money. Want to save the whales? Money. Want to help your mom retire? Money. Money buys you the time to do the things that actually make you human. It eliminates the survival drudgery so you can focus on, well, whatever you want. Now, you might think you need millions. You don't. There is a magic number, and it's lower than you think. Remember that happiness plateau? It's around $90,000 a year for most people. If you can build a portfolio, investments, stocks, real estate, that generates that much passively, you are done. You beat the game. You don't need a private jet. You just need enough so that you never have to set an alarm clock again unless you want to catch a flight. But you can't just save cash under your mattress. Why? One word: inflation. It's the silent thief. That $1,000 you saved 5 years ago, it buys significantly less today. If you were just hoarding cash in a savings account, you are slowly bleeding to death financially. You're playing it safe, but you're actually losing. You have to invest. You have to own assets, because the cost of living is a treadmill that keeps speeding up. Here's the biggest trap young people fall into: looking rich. You see a guy in a BMW. You think, wow, he's doing well. No, statistics say he's probably drowning in payments. That car is a liability. It eats money. Real wealth is quiet. It's the guy in the 10-year-old Honda who owns the apartment complex down the street. Don't confuse high income with high net worth. If you spend everything you make to look rich, you are getting poorer every day. It takes time. I know, boring, right? We want the crypto moonshot. But wealth is usually boring. It's planting a tree. If you invest just, say, $20,000 a year, sounds like a lot, but that's the cost of a stupid car payment and too much takeout. Over 25 years, with compound interest, you're looking at millions. It's math. It's inevitable. But you have to start. You have to let time do the heavy lifting. Listen, I'm not saying you should be a miser. I'm not saying money is your god. I'm saying money is the oxygen of your life. You don't wake up thinking about oxygen until you don't have any. Then it's the only thing you think about. Fix the money part of your life and you unlock the rest of it. Stop letting people who benefit from your brokenness tell you that wanting security is shallow. It's not shallow. It's smart. Do it for your future self. That guy is going to look back at you today and either say thank you or why didn't you start? The choice is yours.